You got to let it go. You got to let it go.
I just saw the worst film I have ever seen in my life. And I'm not even overreacting. I just went to see the film Slender with a few of my friends at Cineworld, and it was the worst film I've ever seen. I have never, and I literally mean never, and I watch every film. Literally every film that ever comes out. The worst films to, for all the Marvel stuff. It's actually made me angry, this film, how bad it was. This is why I decided to do this straight after I've seen it. Every single bit about the film was rubbish. I will break it down and get into details. But straight off the bat, I'm telling you it's a 0 out of 10. A 0. And it's annoyed me. Oh, it's actually annoyed me. So let's get into why I think it's terrible. Number one, they used Slender Man, and you'll understand why I say they used Slender Man towards the end after my other points. But if you're a fan of Slender Man, or ever have been a fan of Slender Man, which pretty much everybody is, you'll know why, just the fact they used Slender Man. Number two, the acting was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. Like, all of the scenes were just... Basically, right, you'd expect a normal scene, right, in a film to be... You can see I've got the green screen behind me, right? It's good. You can see my face, you can see everything behind me. But every single scene in the movie was like this close to their face. So you couldn't see anything behind. And I reckon that's because they had absolutely no idea what they were making, or why they were making it, or where they were meant to be, because everything was blurred behind the person. So you saw their face, everything else was blurred. It was gone. It was nothing. There was no point in it. So you had every scene was this. Every scene was this close, and all you could ever see was this much of the face. You didn't know what was going on behind. It was all this, and all of the dialogue was just, oh my God, Slender Man. Oh yeah, Slender Man. That was it. It was just Slender Man, in every word. Just go, yeah, this is a Slender Man film. Don't hate it because it's Slender Man. But I hated it, even though it was Slender Man. So that's sort of point two, was the fact that they sort of were just filming people's faces up close. So you couldn't get immersed in it. You didn't know what they were doing. It was just pointless. And then the third point was, well, I kind of said the acting was bad, but that is a point. The acting was bad. And what did they do to Slender Man? I honestly, they ruined Slender Man. So it was obviously the guy in the suit, basically looked like me, to be fair, Slender Man. But he had the white thing, no face. But he just looked stupid. Honestly, it looked like someone had made this movie to my standard of vlogs, or my standard of editing. Like, I could have sat in front of my computer for one night, and instead of putting a vlog together, I could have put Slender Man together better and more enjoyable. It was just so pointless. And anyway, sorry, I get distracted. This feels so angry. So he had the white thing all on him. It was pulled tight, all covered. You didn't see his face because obviously that's who Slender Man is. But they butchered him with this weird CGI. And obviously, if you've seen the original creepypasta and where it all came from, that he did have tentacles and stuff. Whoa. But they made him have like millions of tentacles and these big legs. So that was Slender Man. He had these giant legs, and he would walk on the legs, and he'd be up really high. You'll see some images behind me, but he would be up really high, and then he was like running, and it just looked like if I can find some images, because obviously I'm doing this, the film only came out Friday. If I can find some images, I'll show you. But it was just terrible. And then, so that's point 5 maybe now. Point 5, Slender Man, garbage. Then that's annoying because literally I'm obsessed with movies. Point 6 was, what were they doing with this film? Like, one point they were in a school, and you're like, okay, you know, quite generic for horror films. There's kids, they start in school. Oh, suddenly they're in someone's basement. Oh, suddenly, this isn't really spoilers. Suddenly they've watched a video. Oh, Slenderman's arrived, like that. Okay, he's in the film now. And then they were over in the forest, back in the school, back in the bedroom, over in the forest, back in the school, having a pointless argument, back, and you didn't know what was going on at any point in the film. Like, I mean, okay, I'm reviewing this. I was asleep for 20 minutes of it. But, I mean, that's not because I was tired, that's because the film sent me to sleep. So, you know, there's a bit of a difference there. So, it was so back and forth, it just didn't make sense to me, none of it. And, like I was saying, it was in the school, they were here, they were there, then they were over here, they were somewhere else. And then, the way, and I can kind of work out why. Because obviously I've done a lot about filming and editing stuff. I know why they made the film the way it zoomed in on the face was because they didn't have to worry about backgrounds. And the whole film was dark. Which, okay, the Slenderman game is dark all the time, but it's dark for a reason. You're in a forest, you've only got a flashlight. But when you're in the film, everything was dark. You could never see that. You could only see this much, you know, of a person's face when they're talking. So the issue was that everything was dark, and all of a sudden they'd unlock their phone, and the whole cinema screen would be a phone which is white, and you'd be going to like nothing. Your eyes would burn, like they just melt off because of how terrible the transitioning was in the film. And they'd be running through a forest which is pitch black, and suddenly the flashlights on the camera, then your eyes are burning again, so you couldn't work out what you were looking at. And also they probably did that because they realised that they brewed up a heap of rubbish. So, I mean, this was the opinion of the 7 people I watched it with as well. The only good bit about it was the Nando's. My God, that was good. But let's get off subject. And so I said about the darkness in the film, because that was bad. And then the ending was just, I'm not going to say anything because obviously you might want to watch it. Please don't. The ending was basically it was just generic. The whole film wasn't generic. It was sort of on a fresh level of pure crap. Like it was horrendous. I'm trying to, you know, I've slated it with 6 points. The fact they wasted Slenderman, the fact that the acting was bad, the camera zooming in was bad, the lighting and the creation was bad, the fact that I could make it better instead of making a vlog one night. These are all just points where it's just, I just don't get it. And obviously top it up with some bloody annoying people sat behind us who wouldn't be quiet. At one point I was listening to them because it was more exciting than the movie. And there was one point where behind us it sounded like someone had tried to get their first kiss. It went badly, the woman legged it and left the cinema. So that was sort of the spotlight of the film. That was more exciting than the actual movie. But I'm going to sum this up because I'm ranting. It's actually annoyed me. It has actually annoyed me. I just wanted to tell you guys, do not watch it. If you stumble across my review, I don't know why you would, but if you have clicked my review, thank you. Don't watch the film. Don't watch the film. That's all I'm saying to you. It was terrible. It's actually annoyed me how bad it was. And Sony butchered it. I don't know how much money it's made. I don't want to know, because if it's made profit, I can't be angry at Sony. What does Sony care? But yeah, it was terrible. I'm going to give it a 0 out of 10. They butchered Slenderman. I would have rather watched blimmin' PewDiePie sit in his room playing Slenderman on his computer. It just didn't need to be made. It did not need to be made. And I know I've watched a lot of horrors. I had like all of the Insidiouses and all of the Paranormal Activities, which are brilliant. And obviously there's a lot of other horrors, I can't name them, I've watched so many, which are bad, but you enjoy them because they're bad. But Slenderman was just on its own level, really, of nothingness. I watched the whole film, and when I came out of it, I didn't know what happened. And that wasn't because I fell asleep, but I didn't know what happened in the film. So, I don't know how to end this. Thank you for watching, I guess. I don't need to tell you to like and subscribe because you're going to do that anyway, because why wouldn't you? But, yeah. That was the worst film I have ever seen in my life. And I'm probably going to be angry about it for a while. It always takes a couple of days to blow over when I've seen a film which I was hoping would be good. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and subscribe for more.
You got to let it go.